السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. اللهم ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. اللهم ربنا زدنا علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. اللهم ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. اللهم ربنا هب لنا من لدنك رحمة وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Can everyone hear me clearly? Okay. Last lecture we gave was Sihr al-Tafriq. And as we said, Sihr al-Tafriq is one of the most widespread sihr within the Muslim community and within the rest of the community who participate in sihr, in black magic. And the next sihr that is widespread amongst the Muslim community is Sihr of Ishq. Sihr of Ishq, which I translate as obsessive and possessive love. Obsessive and possessive love. Now we said Sihr al-Tafriq, Sihr of separation, can take place because of greed and because of envy and also because of vengeance. So there could be three main reasons, root causes why sihr of separation is done by the perpetrators. Okay. As for sihr al-ishq, it is usually done out of greed. Okay. So they will do sihr al-ishq, right, on an individual because they want something from that individual. Yeah. If it's husband and wife, then for example, the wife wants the husband for herself, right? Or the other way around, the husband wants the wife for himself, right? So whatever he does, she never leaves him. Or the other way around, whatever she does to him, he never leaves her. Yeah. So Sihr al-Ishq is done out of greed. Or for example, someone wants money from the individual, so they do Sihr al-Ishq on him so that he is able to give them money or give them whatever they want out of this obsessive and possessive love. It can be done by close people. It can be done by close people. As I said, it could be husband or it could be the wife. It could be parents on children, or it could be children on parents, or it could be relatives, immediate relatives, and so forth. So it could be done by very, very close people, especially if they have an interest for them to do Sihr of Ishq upon yourself. As we said in my previous lecture of Sihr Tafriq, and again, if none of you have heard that lecture, Sihr of Separation, kindly please listen to that, because there I lay out some of the most fundamental sort of understandings regarding black magic. Okay, so do refer to that lecture. It's on our channel, YouTube channel. So kindly do listen to that lecture. So just we said about Sihr al-Tafriq, again, Sihr al-Ishq. So this is your heart, right? Sihr al-Ishq plays a role at the surface level, okay? And the more you leave Sihr al-Ishq, right? And you don't do anything about it, you don't try to treat it, you don't try to cure yourself from it, then the more it will slowly, right? Slowly penetrate your heart and try to go inside the heart and then settle down. You will never ever obviously reach the depth of your heart, because depth of your heart is yourself, yeah? But it will be close to the depth level, especially if it's left there for if it's left there untreated for, say, a couple of years. If it goes beyond 10, say 7 to 10 years, then it begins to go within the heart and begins to settle within the heart. Not necessarily in the depth of the heart, but within the heart it begins to settle, and then it becomes sort of second nature. It becomes sort of second nature towards the person that you are loving obsessively. It becomes second nature to you. You can't even realize what you are doing, yeah? And people around you begin to see that you are abnormally, obsessively and possessively loving that person and fulfilling their interest. Okay, so just like we said, a couple of symptoms, specific symptoms of Sihr Tafriq, Sihr of separation, we will inshallah give the specific symptoms of Sihr of Ishq, so that you are able to recognize it, whether you have it or not. Sorry, this computer is giving me. This computer is too powerful. This computer is too powerful. It's giving me. Anyway, let's try to deal with it, inshallah. Yeah, it's quite powerful. Yes. Okay, so firstly, what is the evidence of Sihr al-Ishq? The evidence is in the same verse of Surah Baqarah, verse 102, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Sihr al-Tafriq. So if they can do Sihr al-Tafriq, which is to separate the individuals, then they can also do the opposite with the Sihr, because if you can do one, then you can do the other, right? So if you can do the separating, then you can also do the opposite of the separation, yeah? So that verse affirms by mantuq, which is called mantuq, by the explicit text is affirming the separation, and by the implicit text is affirming the opposite of separation, which is bringing two people together in an abnormal way. Just like the separation is abnormal, it's not natural. Similarly, the bringing them together is also abnormal. So that is the evidence from the Quran of Sihr of Ishq. Okay. So what are the first symptoms you need to look for, or first signs you need to look for? The most important sign you need to look for, right, that breaks the crunch of all the different signs, and it's like you hit the nail, right, is interest. If they have an interest for them to do Sihr al-Ishq on you, then that is the greatest sign. So the interest could be that they want your assets, or they want your money, or if a husband has more than one wife, then one wife wants the husband for herself and her children. Yeah, so there is an interest for someone to do Sihr al-Ishq. Yeah, so that is the first thing you need to look at. Does someone have an interest? Yeah, I give you examples. So for example, someone wanted to marry someone. Yeah, so person A wanted to marry person B, right? And person B doesn't want to marry the person A, and person B's family also does not want to marry a person A. Yeah, but then somehow within a week or so, completely the person B changes, and even the family also changes, right? Within a week, in a very quick manner, and they get married very quickly, in a very hasty manner, in a very rushing manner, right? And that is a telltale sign that Sihr al-Ishq maybe has been done. Okay, especially after they get married, they realize that wait a minute, why did I get married to this individual when I didn't want to get married to this individual? And the family also realize, wait a minute, why did we marry him or her to that individual when we did not want to marry, right, him or her to that individual? Yeah. So after the marriage, like they wake up as if they were in sleep or slumber, or as if they were in control of what has happened. Then that's a telltale sign of Sihr Ishq. So the first thing you need to look for is there interest for someone to do Sihr Ishq? Is there interest? The interest could be money and assets. They want your money and they want your assets. Or the interest could be they want that individual for themselves. So it could be the husband wanting the wife. So the wife wants divorce or wants khul'a, but he doesn't want to leave her, so he goes and does Sihr al-Ishq. Or the wife, she is the second wife, so she wants her husband for herself. So then she does Sihr al-Tafriq on the other, on the husband and the wife, on the other first wife, and then she goes and does Sihr al-Ishq on the husband, so that the husband only loves her and her children. Yeah, so there's the interest there. Okay, and the more these interests pile up physically, so for example, the father, who has two wives, for example, he actually then divorces the first wife, and then he actually, for example, begins to give the second wife his assets, his money, and he begins to give his children of the second wife everything they want, and he gives nothing to the first wife's children, right? That the more it piles up, these traceable things, right, the more that is a sign of Sihr al-Ishq. Why is that? Because originally a person is meant to be just, especially towards their biological, natural people who they love. So the wife, the love should be at the equal level. If not the equal level, at least there is no injustice and there's no oppression. Second, with the children, There has to be at the equal level. So it can't be where a father loves one wife's children, all of them, more than the other wife's children. That is impossible. If he loves one wife's children, all of them, more than the other wife's children, then that is Sihr of Ishq, no doubt about it. But if he loves, for example, one child from first wife more, or one child from the second wife more, and another side he likes the other child more than the other wife's children, right? Then it's balanced out, because he's not loving one wife's children more than the other wife's children. Yeah. So if a father loves one wife's children more than the rest of the children of the first wife, right, then that is the clear, explicit sign that Sihr of Ishq is done. There is no other explicit sign than that. That is a clear, explicit sign that Sihr of Ishq has been done on the father. And the reason I'm mentioning this example, because 2 wives and 3 wives are norm within the Muslim community, and the vast majority of the time Sihr of Ishq is done when the father has married more than once. The vast majority of the time Sihr of Ishq is done, right, when the father has married more than twice. Okay. Another telltale sign is it doesn't matter what the other person does. So, for example, if the Sihr al-Ishq is on the father, it doesn't matter what the second wife does. It doesn't matter what she does to him, or against his first wife, or against his first wife's children. It doesn't matter what she does. She's protected by the father. She's protected by the father. She is, her interests are protected by the father. Whatever she says, he listens and he obeys. Yeah. Whatever the second wife's children say, he listens and he obeys. Right. And he doesn't only give things to them, he doesn't also solve the problems. He doesn't solve the root problems. Right. He simply gives it to them, and the second wife and the children, they hide behind his authority as a father. Right? They hide behind his authority as a father. So if the first wife says, look, you're being unjust, they will just say, well, your husband, go and talk to your husband. If the children say, oh, our father is being unjust, they will say, go and talk to your father. Don't talk to us. Why are you talking to us? Go and talk to your dad. He's being unjust. That's between him and Allah. Yeah. So they hide behind the authority of the father. And even in the society, if worse comes to worse, even in the society, they will say, well, it's your father who's being unjust. It's your husband who's being unjust. So there's nothing we can do. Yeah. So this is how they hide behind the authority of the husband or authority of the father. Why do they do that? Because that's the only way they can legitimize his injustice or his oppression, right? And society will not do anything about it. The relatives can't do anything about it. And that way, the Sihr al-Ishq, which they have done on the father, is not spoken about, or is derailed and is diverted and is covered up. So, whatever the person wants, the person who has Sihr al-Ishq on them, they do it, they fulfill it. Whatever the other person wants, right? It doesn't matter how much they are hurting and harming this individual. The one who has Sihr al-Ishq on them, it doesn't matter how much they are hurting him or her, they will do whatever the other person wants them to do. Obviously, once they've done it, in the heart, in the mind, they'll be like, what did I do? But they can't undo it because it's taken over them, taken over their senses, taken over their emotions, and thereby they are unable to undo it. Next sign is sign of clinging and obsessiveness and possessiveness. So for example, again, so for example, when the second wife who's did the Sihr of Ishq, if she was to go out, the father will be, the husband will become, he'll have sort of panic attacks, right? Or he'll become anxious. Or if she goes to, just goes for holiday or for a couple of days, he will feel anxious. Like he just wants her to be back quickly. But when she's back, he's just sort of, he's not showing any affection or anything, but it just, when she's here with him, he's sort of fine. So this anxiousness, this panic attack he has, that's a sign that Sihr of Ishq has been done. Sihr of Ishq has been done. Another sign is when that person who did the Sihr of Ishq is in front of them, they feel constant pull towards them, even though they hate them, or even though they know this person is nasty, this person is evil, but they constantly feel pull towards them. So deep down, they're hating the person, they know the person is harmful, they know the person is evil, but yet they are unable to stop themselves. Whenever that person is dead, they want to come close to them, or they want to be with them, they want to spend time with them. That's a sign of Sihr of Ishq. Another sign of Sihr of Ishq is that they fear, if they don't obey that person, if they don't listen to them, they fear they will either die, or something very bad will happen to them, or something very bad will happen to the loved ones. So it's a real tangible fear. If I don't obey what she is saying, if I don't give her what she wants, right, then something will bad will happen to me. I might die, or something will bad happen to, severely bad happen to my loved ones. So he feels that, for example, his other first wife's children, for example, they might be killed by her. Yeah. Or he may be killed by her. So it might be illogical, irrational fear, but it's such a fear, so much fear in his heart, that he gives what she wants. That's another sign. Another sign is that the person who has Sihr al-Ishq, he or she, they will do things irrationally, illogically towards the person who's done the Sihr al-Ishq. It's illogical, irrational. For example, the Sihr al-Ishq is on the wife. Yeah. The husband, for example, cheats. Husband goes out and sleeps with other woman. He cheats. She knows that, and she's a very loving, caring woman, and she's very loyal. Yeah, even though logically, rationally, it says that she should divorce him, right? She says that she will divorce him, but she doesn't. Or she gets very close to divorcing, but she doesn't. Yeah. She always goes back to him. Even if she, for example, says she will divorce and she was about to divorce, or even if, as soon as he says I'm going to divorce you, for example, as soon as he says I'm going to divorce you, and she's about to divorce him as well, but as soon as he says I'm going to divorce you, you know what, she backs off and she goes back to him. This is illogical, this is irrational. Why? Because he's cheated. Logically, if someone is cheating you once, twice, 3 times, eventually you are not meant to love them. Even if you have children with them, eventually you're not meant to love them. Eventually you're meant to say, you know what, you don't love me, you're cheating on me, right? If you're not married halal way, that's different. But you're cheating, that is not love. You don't love me, and thereby why should I love you back? Because love is mutual. It just can't come from one person. That's what Rasulullah said. Don't hate someone because one day you may love them, and don't love them. Don't hate someone so deeply, but one day you may love them. So you don't love someone so deeply, one day you may hate them. What does that show? The hadith, what that shows, that love and hate is mutual. It depends on the actions and reactions of people. So it's not something natural that it can never be taken away, can never be removed. Yeah, it depends on actions and reactions of people by which you love and you hate people. Okay, so if she goes back to him and it's irrational, illogical, the going back, right? Or wherever he says she listens, even if it's illogical, irrational, then that is Sihr of Ishq, right? That's a sign of Sihr of Ishq. It could be with haram. So he says, for example, to do haram things, and she listens. Yeah, even though she doesn't want to do it, but she listens. Every time he says it, she listens. As a sign that this is Sihr of Ishq has been done on the individual. And again, same, it could be done on the husband. So whatever she says to him to do. So if she says, for example, divorce your first wife, leave your first children, give me your money, give me your assets, right? Whatever the second wife says, the husband listens. That's a sign, telltale sign that Sihr al-Ishq has been done. It's illogical, it's irrational, it's abnormal. These are some of the practical signs that I gave you by which you can tell if someone has Sihr al-Ishq on them or not. As for dreams, you will see the person who's done Sihr al-Ishq on you, you will see that person constantly in the dreams. Now, if it's husband or the wife, then it will be relationship dreams, a lot. You'll see a lot. And if it's not to do with husband and wife, then you will see the dreams of harming. If you don't listen to them, if you don't obey them, they will harm you, they will harm your children, or they will harm your loved ones. And you will always have inferior complex towards them. You will always feel inferior. And you'll always have that fear towards them. So you will see them in the dreams. For example, if it's your khala, who's done sihr, khala means your mom's sister, who's done sihr al-ishq, right? On yourselves, so that you all constantly support her, give her money, blah blah and so forth, right? Overlook her mistakes, listen to her and obey her. You will see her in the dreams, very loving, very cunning, very deceptive, right? But she will have this authority over you. You will feel inferior. You will feel humiliated. You may also see if she's done to marry her children to your family. You may even see very her children in a very loving manner, by which you are inclining towards them. You are willing to marry them and so forth. So you may even see that in the dreams. So in the dreams, if it's a husband and wife who's done the Sihr of Ishq, then you will see the intimacy issues, but you will see it in a very, very constant manner and in very, very, you can say, obsessive manner. Very obsessive manner you see in the dreams. If it's not the husband and wife who's done the Sihr of Ishq, right? If it's not the husband or the wife who's done the Sihr of Ishq, if it's done by relatives, then you will see them in a fearful manner, in an inferior manner. Okay, so this is the sign of in the dreams. If you're going through this kind of signs, what do you do? Most important is to recite obviously the RUQYA verses and the RUQYA du'as, but Surah Yusuf is the most important one. Surah Yusuf is the most important one, especially the first pages where wife of Aziz is running after Yusuf, and where the ladies of Egypt are running after Yusuf, right? Those verses, recite them constantly with the intention of burning away Sihr al-Ishq. The intention of burning away Sihr al-Ishq. And the general treatment is, after you recite, blow in water, blow in oil, right? And have ghusl every day with recite water. Apply recite the oil all over your body, intending to burn away Sihr al-Ishq. Okay. What are the physical signs of the perpetrator who's done Sihr al-Ishq? What are the physical signs? The physical signs is they know they can get away with anything and everything. So they are very, they have pride, they have arrogance, they have stubbornness, and they say in front of you what they will do, yeah, and how they will do it. They do it with arrogance. So because they know they've done Sihr al-Ishq upon you. So they have no fear of you not obeying. They know you will obey. So one of the signs is they speak in front of you with this pride. Yeah, that they make you feel inferior. They'll say in front of you, either indirectly or directly. They'll have no fear. And they will take advantage of the oppression they're doing. They will take advantage of the oppression they're doing. So if they've taken your assets, right, they will not talk about it. They will hide that away. They will not talk about it. And if you try to talk about it, they will avoid you. And you'll be like, yes, I've taken your assets. Yes, I'm eating your money. So what? They will not say that, but this is what the persona they will be showing. Well, I've taken away your father. So what? Yeah. Or we made your mother be divorced. So what? Yeah. So they have this arrogance about them. Anyone else, obviously, if they see this injustice and oppression, right, they will try to like show empathy, show sympathy. They'll try to talk to you. They'll try to comfort you. They'll try to find out why this is taking place. But because they've done this and they planned it, they will show the arrogance. You know what? My plan is working. Yeah, and they'll show the arrogance. So that's a telltale sign. When someone is doing the harms on you, and then they have this arrogance about them, it's a telltale sign they have done Sihr of Ishq. Now the telltale sign is behind your back, they will try to make you humiliated, make you in the society, make you assassinate your character. So for example, they will start slandering about you, they'll start lying about you, right? Just to cover up the tracks of the Sihr of Ishq they have done on, for example, your father or on you. Yeah, so they'll slander you, they'll lie about you, they'll gossip about you. All of this is to character assassinate you. So when you go out in the public and you try to defend yourself, it's so much gossip they have spoken about you, yeah, where you are, it's too much for you to then defend yourself and talk back, and it's so much, it's overwhelming, and thereby you just give in and just give up, and you just listen, you just obey them. It's a tactic they use. So the character assassinate you, by which you are unable to defend yourself because it's too much, it's overwhelming, so you give in and you give up, and eventually you just listen and obey them. So the first one is they are very arrogant and stubborn, and they feel superior over you, in front of you. Second, they slander and gossip about you, by which you are unable to defend yourself. It's too much, it's too overwhelming. And third, is they will never ever speak about the root issues. They'll always divert and cover up. So they are not found out. So they'll never ever speak about the root issues. So for example, suppose you've got Sihr of Ishq and your wife's done Sihr of Ishq on you, right? Suppose. Now, your wife will go and will speak about you. Oh, he's so aggressive, he's so violent, right? But the root issue is, for example, she's taking your assets. For example, she's taking your income. It's all under her name. She will not say that. She will not talk about that. All she will talk about is he's so aggressive, he's so violent, right? So this is divert and cover up of the root issue. Okay, so that's the third thing they do, is they will divert and cover up the root issues so that the Sihr of Ishq is not found out, which they have done. Okay, how do you, once you know they've done Sihr of Ishq, how do you protect yourself from them? Firstly, make sure that they do not visit your houses. Make sure they do not have your pictures, and make sure they do not have your clothes or your hair or your nails. Make sure they don't have these things, because these are the things they will take and they will do Sihr of Ishq on you more and more. So make sure they don't visit your houses anymore. Make sure they do not have your pictures. Make sure they don't have your clothes and your hairs and nails and so forth. Because once they have these matters, they can do more Sihr al-Ishq upon yourself. If they ask for your pictures, do not give it them. If they come to your houses, right, and want to give you gifts, do not accept the gifts. Or even if you accept it, wash it with recite water and then burn it away or throw it away. I know, I gave the example last time of this second wife. In the big when she did sihr tafriq on the father, right? And then she did sihr al-ishq on the father, and she separated the father from the first wife and the first children. She willingly came to the house, yeah, to the first children's house, willingly, first couple of years. And then suddenly she stopped. That's a telltale sign that when she came into the house, she did sihr in the house, she did whatever sihr she wanted to do. Once she did those sihr, then she stopped coming because she's done her job, right? And she even tried to stop her own children coming to the first family's house, because she knows that job is done. So this is a telltale sign, right? Telltale sign that this person has done sihr. This person has done sihr. There's no doubt about it, because in the beginning she was willing to come, and now she's not coming at all. She's even trying to stop the children coming. It's a telltale sign that this person has done sihr. So do not allow them to come to your house. Do not accept the gifts. If you do, burn it away or wash them inside water. Do not give them your access to your clothes, and do not give them your pictures. When it comes to Sihr of Ishq, the deadly sihr that can be done is by pictures. When it comes to Sihr of Ishq, the most deadly Sihr of Ishq can be done is through your pictures. Yeah, through your pictures. So make sure they have no access to your pictures. One of the best ways to protect your clothes and your pictures is, as Rasulullah said, right, before you do anything, right, say Bismillah. So when you wear your clothes, Bismillah. When you take them off, Bismillah. This one of the main ways, right, you can protect. Even when you take pictures of yourself, say Bismillah and take it. It's one of the best ways to protect yourself from sihr and evil hours. Lastly, if you feel that you have Sihr of Ishq, what do you do after you've done, the general treatment? If you started Surah Yusuf, is still not breaking, obviously go and see a Raqi who is, inshallah, is an expert, pious and upright, will be able to recite upon yourself, and then inshallah burn away the Sihr of Ishq which is upon yourself. Okay. With this, we have sort of, in summary, have completed some of the major signs of Sihr of Ishq. Inshallah ta'ala, if you have any questions, we will take questions. And inshallah, next lecture will be on Sihr, on either Rabt or either Rizq. Inshallah, we will decide, inshallah. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, inshallah.
Jazakumullah khair, Shaykh. Okay, so if anyone has questions, you can raise your hand and I'll unmute you, and you can ask the question directly to the Shaykh. Also, I've sent a link on the chat for the reviews at Fitrah Center. We'll appreciate if you can review us on Google, inshallah. The link is there. I'll send the link again. Just give me 1 second. So the link has been attached again. So that link will take you straight to our review page. You have to sign in for any reviews at Fitrah Center, inshallah. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please raise your hands. You can raise your hands on the option. And while I'm waiting for people to ask questions live, what I'll do, I'll ask. Okay, there is one person shuffled. Okay, so Fabi. Okay, you can unmute yourself. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, Fabiya. You can unmute yourself.
I think she messaged in the chat.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So can you tell me a good raqi? I have an Al-Ishq jinn. It's stopping me getting married.
Book an appointment with the Fitrah Center, inshallah, and we can take it from there. And if you have an Al-Ishq jinn, recite Surah Yusuf, especially the first few pages until Islam is imprisoned. Until those verses, recite those verses constantly with the intention of burning away the source of the Sihr of Ishq and the source of the possession of shaitan, and burning away the Ishq. Okay, repeat those verses.
Okay.
From beginning of Surah Yusuf until beginning of Surah Yusuf until Yusuf al-Islam is sent to prison.
Sure. There's another question on the chat. What do you do if people have already got the pictures?
You ask them nicely, kindly to give them back to you, or to destroy those pictures. Just say, for example, I believe pictures are haram, and I don't want my pictures for you to have my pictures, because I just don't want you to my pictures. I believe pictures are haram. So please, can you, if you can give it to me, I'll destroy them, or if you can destroy them, I'll be happy.
Okay, so so someone asked Shaykh, is it possible to have a combination of different types of sihr?
Yeah, yeah, it's possible. As I said, generally the one who has sihr al-tafriq, generally they have sihr al-ishq, little bit of sihr al-ishq as well.
Okay. Someone asked a dream, but Shaykh, should we leave dreams for separate bookings?
Yeah, inshallah.
Let's just stick to the topic. So if anyone wants any dreams interpreted, book an appointment at Fitrah Center, then the Shaykh can answer those dreams, inshallah. But here, let's try to stick to the topic of this lecture, inshallah. Okay, Shaykh, someone's asking, pictures, does it mean digital?
Both.
Both. Okay, we can do both. Okay, that's fine. Okay, what if they have other items, like other DNA which belongs to you?
Yeah, as you said, always say Bismillah before you give anything, and just have Bismillah as your routine in whatever you do of khair. Have Bismillah be mentioned. When you do that, inshallah, you are protected from all evil and all harms. If you've given something to them, ask them to return it. If they can't return it, then if you do visit their house, say recite al-Kursi and whatever you know, and then blow over the things that they have of yours, which you know they will not return, or you can't get it back. So blow over it with the intention of burning away any sihr which they may have done through that item.
Sheikh, in terms of protection from sihr, if you know that someone repeatedly is doing the sihr, how do you protect yourself, Sheikh?
Play the Quran 25 hours in the house, That's one of the best ways to protect yourselves, is to play the Quran 24 hours in the house non-stop, with the intention of the Quran and the angels coming and blocking yourselves and your household and your family members and the house, right? With the nur of the angels and with the nur of the Quran. That's the intention you make, and you play the Quran 24 hours. Also, at least, if not daily, to recite the Quran. That's a Muslim ought to do. If you can't do that, at least someone in the family should do that. Daily, there's recitation of the Quran, i.e., you as an individual reciting the Quran. And once a week, you as a family to get together and recite the Quran with the intention of burning away the sources of sihr, burning away the sources of evil eye, burning away the sources of shaitan, and protecting yourselves and your household and the house from sihr, evil eye, and shaitan.
Okay, someone else had a question, Shaykh. Someone who's been gifted with garments and other items, Shaykh, and they believe that they might have done sihr on them and their family, and they've worn these clothes for many years. What's the best advice you would give them, Shaykh?
Firstly, place them in recycled water, check for any knots in the clothes, and then after you've placed the clothes in the recycled water for, I'll say, 3 days plus, right? Then you can either throw them away, burn them away, or you can wear them. It's up to you. Our person will say if you can burn them away is better. If you can't do that, then throw them away. That'll be better, inshallah.
I'll ask 2 more questions, Sheikh. What advice would you give someone for whose husband's parents may have done the sihr to the husband, or vice versa, Sheikh, even to the sister themselves? How would you advise them, Sheikh?
Best thing is to obviously do the ruqya. Treat yourselves by playing the Quran, by doing the ghusl, by spraying the house, by reciting the Quran, going and singing the raqi, doing the hijama monthly. That's the first step. You take the proactive measures of treatment. Secondly, gather evidences. Gather evidences that they are doing the sihr, and eventually you can have a meeting, family meeting. You can gather family meeting to show that they are doing the sihr and they should stop it. Right? Either indicate that, or either eventually, if you need to prove it to them, whichever way. But most important is for you and your husband to proactively do the treatments, the ruqya ones, and if it's affecting you mentally, psychologically, emotionally, then I would say also go and see the therapists, counseling, and so forth. And if it's affecting you medically, then obviously take the medical route also.
Okay. Let's see if there's a...
This is the last question.
Yeah, last question, Sheikh. How do you deal with people you suspect, and in turn people are turning against you? So I'm assuming that how would you... You've already answered the question, Sheikh.
Yeah, you have to indicate. You have to indicate and gather the evidences. Because if they are continuously doing it, especially if they are immediate families, then you have to gather the evidences to show it to them, where there is no way they can deny it. The evidences are so overwhelming that there's no way they can deny it anymore. So they have to either, and you're doing it for their interest, remember, because at the end what you want is them to repent, them to mend their ways, and them to stop doing what they do. So you want goodness for them. So do your treatment and gather the evidences. And once you have overwhelming evidences, sit down with family members, right? Their relatives, gather everyone and say, look, the other evidences, right? Clear evidences, explicit evidences that no one can doubt that you are doing the sihr on us.
Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh. Okay, so we'll end the session. Again, Jazakumullah khair, Sheikh, for giving us your time. Inshallah, we'll wait for the next topic. Please stay tuned into our WhatsApp and our adverts on. You can follow us on Instagram, or you can sign up to the following number. I'll write it down, inshallah, as soon as I sign up. Also, if you can kindly leave us a review. We've got about 40 participants, so if you can kindly leave us a review on Google, we'll really appreciate it, inshallah. Okay, Jazakumullah khair, Shaykh. Would you like to end it? Inshallah.
جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us from sihr and evil and shayateen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cure all of us and all the Muslims from sihr, evil and the shayateen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala break the sihr of tafriq and sihr of ishq, which are within our families and within our society. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.